Welcome back. Joining us in the studio today is Betty Vale, a family and orthopedic nurse practitioner at UT Health East Texas Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. We're glad to have you join us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, and so we're talking osteoporosis because May is the month for that. So tell me, can you tell me more about osteoporosis and why it's a growing concern?
Sure. There are 53 million Americans that either have osteoporosis or are at high risk for osteoporosis.
Wow.
Unfortunately, a lot of them don't get treatment and they're undiagnosed because osteoporosis is silent. A lot of times the first indication that they have osteoporosis is a broken bone. And with our aging population, it's expected that osteoporosis is going to increase significantly.
Well, tell me, if there is no sign or symptoms, how do you know if you have it?
So the main way that we know is by a DEXA scan or bone density scan. Women starting at age 65 and men age 70 or older, as well as people that have conditions that could put them at risk for osteoporosis, should have a DEXA scan. Okay. Then we recommend after that baseline DEXA scan that they have a DEXA every 2 years to make sure that there hasn't been further bone deterioration.
Okay.
The other way to know if you have osteoporosis is the way that none of us want to have. It's if you break a bone. Okay. Sometimes that's how we find out that somebody has osteoporosis. An osteoporotic fracture, also known as a fragility fracture, is something that happens when it really shouldn't. So a low-level trauma or no trauma at all. So an example would be somebody who coughs and they have a vertebral compression fracture, which means they break a vertebra in their back simply by coughing. Or somebody that has a low-level fall and ends up with a broken wrist or a broken hip.
Oh, wow. And so what other conditions put someone at risk for osteoporosis?
So there's lots of diseases that can impact osteoporosis. Rheumatoid arthritis, liver disease, chronic kidney disease, lupus, those are just some examples. Things like chronic steroid use or gastric bypass also put you at risk.
Okay. And so is there anything that can be done to help keep bones strong?
Absolutely. The best way to keep bones strong is to live a healthy lifestyle. Okay. For bones in particular, you want to make sure that you're getting adequate intake of calcium and vitamin D, getting weight-bearing exercise, limiting alcohol, caffeine, and carbonated drinks, and don't smoke.
Yes. And so it's always true, like what they used to tell us in school, drink milk.
If you're somebody who absorbs it well.
Yes. Well, if someone has osteoporosis or an osteoporotic fracture, I'm saying that wrong here, or is found to have low bone density, is there anything that can be done about it?
Sure. In addition to the lifestyle measures, there are medications that can help.
Okay.
Over the years, the medications have changed tremendously. We now have options in pill form, injections that can be given under the skin, or once yearly IV therapy. It's important to really talk to your provider about what's best for you to customize a plan.
Yes. Well, how can people who have questions or need osteoporosis treatment find out more?
The best resource is the Bone Health and Osteoporosis Foundation. They can be located via website of bonehealthandosteoporosis.org. The other way that they can find more information is to call us. They can reach us at either 903-877-7824 or 903-594-2148, either one of our clinics, to schedule a visit and talk about their specific needs.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, and for more information, you can go to those websites right there on your screen.